With a new teaser for the Steel Ball Run anime, it's got everyone hyped and gooning for Gyro. Hi, I'm Eddie C. With the second best manga worldwide being animated, it's gonna bring with it some new fans who think that Johnny Joestar is your typical good guy hero. Yoo-hoo! Au contrario, dear viewer. So giddy up, because this is the story of how Johnny Joestar learned to be a good person. Jonathan Joestar, wrong universe. Johnny Joestar was born in 1872 to a family of former aristocrats. His father was George Joestar, a wealthy owner of multiple farms and an acclaimed horse riding trainer, while also being a massive dick. He was strict towards Johnny and clearly preferred his older brother Nicholas over Johnny. Parental favoritism can lead to many problems with a child, such as low self-esteem and feelings of inadequacy. Anyway, back to JoJo. Johnny had a secret pet mouse called Danny. Danny has it rough in every universe, man. In the OG universe, he's burnt alive, and in the Steel Ball Run universe, he gets turned into a f***ing mouse. Quick side note, I've noticed a lot of anger online about the anime colorings for Steel Ball Run, so here's a rendition of the manga accurate coloring. Johnny's father discovered the mouse while Johnny was feeding it, and in an outrage ordered Johnny to drown it as punishment. But like, why? It's just a mouse, dude, calm down. Johnny couldn't bring himself to kill Danny, so Nicholas suggested that he should just secretly set him free instead. Such a kind brother. Fat load of good it did him though. Nicholas's horse gets startled by something during a high-speed race, causing Nicholas to lose his life. A boy said that the thing that startled the horse was a little white mouse.
Haha, you probably thought it was some random kid, but it was I, Dio.
Yep, that's right, Dio is in this story, but now under the name Diego Brando. Johnny believed that the white mouse was Danny. This affected him greatly as he blamed himself for Nicholas's death. Johnny was now the one who rose to horse riding fame. He was completely pampered and spoiled. Royalty would watch him perform. He even got to make whoopee, or should I say hanky panky, or should I say the horizontal Roomba, or should I say the devil's tango, or should I say fuck. He got attention from everyone apart from the one person he wanted to get attention from, his father. They got into a fight and his father said directly to Johnny's face, God had taken the wrong son and then kicked him out of the household. That is cold, man. That would mess me up for life.
Which is why Johnny Joestar became an asshole, as the title of this video says.
All this pampering and being handed everything on a silver platter caused Johnny to develop a massive ego. But his father was neglectful. Saying such harmful things to him at such a young age would cause anger issues in anyone. The favoritism towards Nicholas didn't help, and the guilt Johnny feels for Nicholas's death definitely didn't help. Johnny became selfish and adopted his father's anger. Worst of all, he couldn't beat Diego in a race.
1738.
While waiting in line for a play, the girl Johnny was with convinced him to bribe the bouncer to throw out the youth at the front of the line. This is clear jerk behavior. The youth had been waiting all night in line. Coke is so good.
Original Coke, that is.
The youth retaliated, shooting Johnny in the spine, paralyzing him, and he was rushed to a hospital. Johnny had lost all of his respect and public recognition. He had no friends, no one came to visit him in the hospital. He was all alone and was even physically abused in the hospital. Karma had done its work on Johnny Joestar. Down on his luck and now paralyzed, Johnny experiences a miracle. He got to lay his eyes upon Gyro Zeppeli. Not that he was magically unparalyzed for a second due to a steel ball or anything, who cares about that? Johnny becomes obsessed with the magic of the steel balls, and signs up for the race for entirely selfish reasons. All he wants is to heal himself and return to his former glory. Well, maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Isn't that just human nature? Wouldn't anyone take a chance to try and heal themselves? Johnny Joestar isn't perfect. He's perfectly written. He isn't a pure good hero such as his alternate universe self, but instead he's more human and relatable than most protagonists in the modern age of media. To join the race, Johnny will need a horse. So he enters a horse pen to try and tame a horse named Slow Dancer. Isn't that a bad omen to get a horse that's literally called Slow? Johnny struggles to tame Slow Dancer. He is dragged about, even having a piece of wood pierce his leg. To ensure he doesn't get forced out of the pen, he says to the man who let him in that he would set himself on fire and kill himself. Jesus Christ, these Joestars are so overkill! Johnny pulls his finger at his ass and manages to tame Slow Dancer, so he pulls up to the starting line.
Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party.
The race starts, and Johnny follows Gyro, determined to impress him as he has a massive friend crush on him. Johnny comes in 5th for the first stage, but this is good enough to impress Gyro, who gives Johnny a lesson in spin. Spin is a mathematical technique involving near-perfect rotation, particularly in the golden ratio that creates infinite rotational energy. The two form a partnership from here, and thus the greatest duo in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is created. In the second stage, things start to get interesting. Johnny and Gyro are attacked by Miss Robinson. He manages to blind and unhorse Johnny, but Gyro manages to save him and defeat Miss Robinson, with this being the first test of their bond. At night, they are attacked again, this time by the Boom Boom family. Wait. Oh my god.
Sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
During this battle, Johnny develops his stand, allowing it to spin his nails and shoot him like bullets. He defeats the family, with LA Boom Boom warning Gyro that he'll never finish the race. Huh. Johnny pushes Gyro to reveal his backstory as an executioner. But that's a story for a Gyro video, so... Johnny finds that a mummified corpse arm has merged with his own body. That would terrify me personally. But do you wanna know what would terrify me more? If you don't subscribe. Come on, amigo. I know you're loving this video. So just scroll down a little bit and hit that big red button. You'll be reminded when a new superb, educational, hilarious, charming, aesthetic EDC video is released. Come on, twin, I'm trying to be a big shot here. So help me out and like and subscribe. Big shot! But whatever you do, make sure not to cut me off. The corpse parts seemingly allow Johnny to move his legs, so he develops a new obsession. Find all the corpse parts and maybe he can walk again. The pair finish the stage with Johnny coming in second. This is the stage where Diego finally comes into focus in the manga. Johnny and Gyro come across an injured Diego. Johnny wants to just leave Diego there in a ditch. He wants to get on with finding the corpse parts, really showing how selfish he is. Johnny hated Diego before Diego even really did anything wrong. It's theorized that Johnny hates him so much because he could never beat him in races when he was younger. And if he beat him and became the very best, I wanna be the very best, maybe his father would praise him. The three of them end up staying the night in a village. And maybe Johnny was right to leave Diego because what the fuck? Diego turns into a dinosaur and attacks Johnny and Gyro. A whole stand battle ensues. You get the picture. We aren't here to recap Stillable Run. We're here to analyze the scenes that define Johnny's character growth. And a very important one of these scenes happens in... one of the most popular side villains, Ringo Road Ringo traps Johnny and Gyro in the woods, forcing them to fight him or they'll never leave. It is in this stand battle that Johnny's dark determination is debuted. Dark determination in JoJo is a phenomenon where the character puts aside their sense of morality in order to pursue their goals, often turning them into cold-blooded killers. Dark determination is a true show into how dark a character Johnny is. Literally because it's called Dark. He is not a good guy. In fact, he has one of the highest kill counts for a JoJo as he kills his enemies, not just retiring them. Ringo Road is the first to see this dark determination in Johnny, saying he has entered the true man's world. After defeating Ringo, Johnny and Gyro meet Lucy Steele, and Gyro wants to send her off to steal the corpse heart from the president. Here we see Johnny start to have a shift towards being more heroic, as he protests against this idea, saying that she is only 14. Nevertheless, she still goes to get the corpse heart, and well, we all know what happens there. Nothing too important for Johnny's character happens here. He reminisces on how harsh his life's been and Tusk evolves into a new act to save Gyro, but nothing else really. Come. Yeah, this is my dog. I would gladly sell him for 50 milliliters of chocolate milk. Don't leave. And that's the other one. I'd say that one's about worth 35 milliliters of chocolate milk. The duo meet Sugar Mountain, a young girl who is the guardian of a giant tree in a forest. Sugar Mountain grants the pair goods and corpse parts, but under a condition. They must be traded fairly before sunset or they will be absorbed into the tree. This is obviously annoying, so what do?
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it!
They manage to get rid of all the goods they got from Sugar Mountain, but as the sun sets, Gyro starts turning into a tree. They need to trade the corpse parts. Gyro begs Johnny to trade them away, or else he's gonna be saying I am Groot for the rest of his life. Johnny clings to the corpse parts, his only hope of walking again. But at the last moment, he trades them away, saving Gyro. This is one of the biggest tests of Johnny's character. It shows how far he's grown across the race, as Johnny from the beginning would have let Gyro die in a heartbeat. Johnny still has flaws. He hesitated and had to think about whether he should trade them away, but still, his good shone through and he saved Gyro. The two share a bottle of wine, a toast to the corpse parts and the goal. Johnny and Gyro are lured into the trap of Axl Rose, who attacks with his stand, Civil War. This stand preys on your past, which is harsh for Johnny as he has so much guilt and despair from his past. Apparitions of Danny and Nicholas come before Johnny to haunt him. Then, Wait, holy shit. Jesus? Jesus, literal Christ, warns Johnny not to shoot if his heart is wavering. Advice I take very seriously when playing snooker. At the end of the fight, Funny Valentine, the president, intervenes and steals the corpse parts, sending Johnny back to square one again. After this whole who shot Johnny Joestar thing, it was Funny Valentine. Johnny momentarily stands up, showing that he is close to regaining the ability to walk. Johnny and Gyro pursue the president, who now has the whole corpse, and is on a train with Lucy Steele. Valentine gains more powers, yada yada yada, Diego dies, lesson 5, blah blah blah, Gyro dies, wait, I skipped way too far ahead. Gyro attempts a form of spin that is almost impossible to carry out, but it's their only chance of defeating Valentine. Lesson 5, the shortest route was a detour. It was the detour that was our shortest path. In the most emotional scene of Steel Ball Run, Gyro fails and is killed by Funny Valentine. Johnny is grief-stricken. He just lost his only friend whose bond had been building up for the past 100+ days. He charges at Valentine, but he slits Slow Dance's throat, unhorsing him. He approaches Johnny to deal the final blow, but Johnny now understands Gyro's message. He throws a steel ball at Slow Dance's hind leg. Kicked into the air, Johnny uses the golden scale on himself. Tusk Act 4 is unlocked, and he shoots Valentine with one last nail. The president disappears and goes for a lot of dirt or something, but he comes back! He promises to bring Gyro back to heal his horse and the dying Lucy Steele. Johnny sees through this and finally kills the president. The main villain may be dead, but this story isn't over, because Diego's back? And with... Diego had stolen the corpse parts, and Johnny began to pursue him. After just a few attacks, Johnny discovers the power of the world, freezing time. Johnny is mortally wounded by Diego, and is left to die. He slinks into despair, accepting death, but none other than Steven Steele comes to the rescue and helps Johnny perform Tusk Act 4's infinite spin on himself, saving himself from the spin technique used by Diego. Johnny then travels by ship to Naples. He carries Gyro's body all the way home to his family for a proper burial, a true send-off to his friend, and the final act that displays Johnny as a reformed man. His inability to walk represents the dark turn his life was taking with his selfishness and ego, and if he wanted to walk again, he'd have to earn it. So he developed all the way throughout Steel Ball Run, learning how to become a better person. That is the story of how Johnny Joestar became a good person. Howdy, partner! I hope you enjoyed this little video by me, and most of all, I hope that you like and subscribe. Please. Please. I want to be a big shot! What's next on the agenda for Eddie C? I don't know. We'll just have to find out. Until next time, partner. Next time.